Hey, well, great night to you all. I hope that you guys were able to maintain a high vibe all day long. I tell you, my day was full. But my day was fun. I really enjoyed my day in its totality today. And I really hope that all of you have been able to enjoy a magically delicious day for yourselves as well. Factually. You know, if we take little baby steps every day towards no matter what it is we want, we really produce large traction towards the things that we want to acquire, no matter what it is. But I don't want you guys to ever get overwhelmed about anything that you're looking at. Because where the fear comes in and where the anxiety comes in and where the doubt and the shame and the blame comes in is when you don't trust yourself and what you're being told. So if you're in a situation right now that you don't fully trust yourself because you feel that you're not in complete control of what's going on within yourself, well, I'd like you to take a commitment to yourself to take baby steps towards being so solid in your skin that nothing can shake you. You know, I'm really happy that I am who I am. Because I just had an experience. I was walking my dog. And I've had a really full, fun day. Okay? Like, I'll tell you a little bit about my day. This morning I woke up and I had a great visit with somebody who showed up to see me this morning. Brought me a coffee, filled my day just right, you know? And then I ended up reading some cards, tarot cards for somebody that stretched out to about 2.5 hours. Actually, it was Bruno, who everybody, you guys know that Bruno, I go on their shows, the Love It or Shove It, and, you know, Irina and their co-hosts. Well, I read his tarot cards today. So I'm sure you guys can look out for a testimonial video for that tomorrow. But after that, well, I had to jump into their Love It or Shove It episode that they had today with Dina Alexander. Amazing show. You know, I just love what they do. And I have a riot going out there with them and really taking part in it. And it's funny because even though I'm in the audience and not as a guest speaker or on the show, I feel a part of their episodes with them. And I love being there with them. They're such great people. And they're fun to watch. And they're fun to interact with. So I spent an hour after doing cards for 2.5 hours being entertained and getting the most out of their episode of Love It or Shove It today. So that was fun. Well, which led to other things. My day has been full of such amazing, adventurous stuff. You know? And when you embrace learning the way I do, you jump into every piece of learning possible. And you know which I did. Because even tonight there was a LinkedIn event that somebody really amazing, Cassandra, put on tonight. And I had Cassandra Terry, I believe her name is. And I had to join in. Because these are such amazing people doing such amazing things. And I see that it's all validation through it too. Because it's all baby steps. Everybody's got to take baby steps. You know, it's when we take these huge leaps that we hurt our knees or our ankles or our, you know, or our back. We just got to take baby steps. And, you know, we all feel like, we want instant gratification. We want the results and we want them now. Well, I know that I'm like that too. And that's a huge problem with humanity, is our need for validation and for instant gratification, when sometimes it's better not to be able to feel the gratification of what we're doing right away. You know, it's just like when we're planting a garden in the spring. We're only going to reap the benefits of that at the end when it's time to harvest. But it doesn't stop you from doing all the baby steps necessary to make sure that you produce the best harvest for yourself. So this is what you got to do with anything in life too. You know, and baby steps towards it. Because if you sit there thinking about all the work that you got to put in to build your garden, you're not going to do it. But if you think about things one thing at a time, and construct your plan, and you're clear about what you want to grow, well, take the baby steps to do it. So anything in your life you can do this with. Anything. And you know what? That day that I was laying in ICU with my lungs full of blood and my organs shut down, and they were convinced I would have 16 hours to live. You know, when I made it through the night, the next day they decided to cut chunks out of my legs for biopsies to send across Canada because they were totally blown away of how I even survived the night. And they didn't even freeze me, you know. I went through all of that with 0 painkillers. Nothing. And the pain was intense. But you know what? No matter what or how hard all of that was, I never knew for a million years that I would be able to sit here today and reflect on that as being one of the baby steps that I needed to take towards the greatest adventures of self-discovery I could ever have. You see? And a lot of people look back at those kind of things and they're like, well, not those kind of things. Some people don't get the chance to look back on those things. I'm grateful that I do. Because that led me to such intense inner growth for who I am that, you know, I'm grateful for all of these experiences that I've had. I'm grateful for having the holes all over my body, for refusing amputation, for sticking it out to no matter what I was faced with. And if that's the best quality that anybody can see about me is that I'm a warrior and I'll get through it, well, that's all they need to see. Because I see that in myself. But I also see that in everybody else. And that's why it's hard for me to settle for less than what I know a person can produce for themselves or want for themselves. Or, you know, it's really hard. That's, I think, the most difficult thing is to see people with so much potential and they waste it. And they don't use it even taking baby steps to the greatness that they have within. And it really, it's disheartening, you know, because, you know, no matter what I've lived and no matter what I've had to go through, addiction, alcoholism, even selling my ass on the street. Okay? Let's drop it like it's real. And I'm not ashamed of it. Everything that I have done, I'll tell you something, I had fun doing it no matter what I was doing. Would I do that now? Well, hey, don't put me in a position that I would have to. And I won't do it. Simple as that. When you've walked a life that I have, man, and you've gotten through what I have, you're ready for anything. But when you know better, you do better. You know? So there's no excuse for anybody. There really isn't. Like, yeah, I was able to get myself clean without rehab, without support, without counseling, without... Okay, but not everybody can do that. Okay, well, not too many people can come back from death the way that I have either. There's not too many people that will believe in themselves enough to get through it all. Well, my intention of telling my story is not to have a poor me pity party, because I have 0 pity for myself. But what I hope it does for you all is encourages you guys to take whatever baby steps you need to do to get right within yourself. And stop limiting yourself from what you can truly have, simply from what you believe yourself to be. Because you are so much more than you can ever imagine that you are. And what's sourcing you for the whole experience is more magical and in perfect design than you could ever fathom in your mind. Literally. There's nothing that is unlovable about you. There's nothing that is unforgiven in your life already by the universe. By source. You're forgiven because you're given free will. You can make your own choices. We are free to do that. That's one of the rules of the game of life. So if you're not shamed or blamed or guilted for any one of your decisions that you make in your life, you shouldn't be doing that to yourself. Not at all. No matter what you've lived. It doesn't matter. It's all experience. But you have to leave it as mere experience. And everybody stays stuck in these states of being, and they adopt it as their self-identity. What do I mean by that? Well, look. Anybody who claims to be depressed, depression is a state. So if they walk around and they tell the world, well, I'm depressed. Well, instead of saying, I'm so-and-so, they're announcing themselves as their state of being. But how can people adopt a state of being as their self-identity? Well, they do it. Just like anybody who's stuck drinking. Instead of them saying, well, I have a problem with staying away from alcohol, all of a sudden they are the alcoholic. They adopt it as their self-identity. So then it makes it very hard to stop what you're doing or stop a state of being when you've actually adopted it for yourself as your way of being. And that's what happens to drug addicts too, or people that are stuck with anxiety, is they create these vicious patterns within their mind of adopting these states as who they are as an individual, and they're not. You know, we're very different from whatever state we embody. Big time. But a lot of people don't validate that for themselves. They only validate the state of being that they choose to embody, and all of a sudden they become that state. Well, that's the hardest thing you can do for yourself. And that's the most crippling thing you can do for yourself, because honestly, your soul and what's fueling for life knows none of that. Literally. It's in perfect design. It knows how to fuel and function every one of your organs, every one of your neural pathways, your whole central nervous system, your whole sympathetic nervous system, all of your hormones, all of your reactions, all of everything in your body. It already knows how to run that in perfect design. Harmony, balance, it knows nothing else. So where the chaos and conflict comes into anything is what you choose to embody. Okay, and it doesn't matter who you are, and it doesn't matter what you've done in your life, because my rap sheet is long when it comes to experience. And no, I don't want you to take that misunderstanding and thinking I've got some criminal record, because I don't. I got smart after juvie. Let's just say that. Okay? You got to stay 20 steps ahead of the system. And when you fly high, they can't catch you, because the pigeons can't fly that high. They lose their air before they reach the eagle. Simple. You know? But guys, little baby choices, little baby steps, they produce such huge traction over time. And time goes by so quickly that you don't even realize it happening. Factually. And every day you're either getting bitter or you're getting better. Well, once you know you can feel better, why not install that intentionally? No matter what it is you're living. And you know, a lot of people think, shit, this sucks and that sucks and this has to happen and that has to happen. Listen, no matter what you are living, the universe is always working in your favor. So if shit has to go sour for you to feel it and make some fucking choices, well, that'll be forced upon you too. Because your free will has pushed you to that point. It's better to just hear and apply the learning than to actually be pushed into suffering by our choices alone. Because that's what happens. When we start believing that we are our states of being, it's like self-mutilation. And if you're not going to take a razor and cut your arms or your legs, well, why would you cut yourself with your thoughts? It makes no sense. Every thought that you choose to have and everything that you choose to say, it's either lifting you up or it's destroying you. And it's by your free will alone. And this is why it's so important to come out and talk the way I do. I want everybody to realize the power that's fueling them. And you know, if you really do your homework on what I've lived in my life, you're going to know that what that power is. Guys, I closed holes and refused amputation with mind and brain work, creative visualization. I kick-started my kidneys with visualization and energy harvesting, but that's another story for another day. But seriously, you can make absolutely anything happen. All you have to do is believe. Because to believe something is to make it live. It's to be live in your life. That is what a belief is. It's to be live in your life. Hey, Edgar. How you doing, girl? Love you lots. Happy to see you out here. But seriously, to anything that you believe, it's to make live in your life. So I don't want people to believe that they're their states of being. I don't want people to believe that their emotions are... No. You got to go a little deeper. Because if you believe you're anxious, you're going to feel it. I'm great. Happy to be here, Bob. I'm happy you're here. I was wondering if you were going to join that LinkedIn event. Annie and Cassandra had a LinkedIn event tonight that I went and listened to. It was quite something. Quite something. You know me, I had to jump up there and say my little piece. But it was really nice. It was really cool. But, yeah, guys, like I was saying, anything that you believe to be, you are fueling it with your life force. So, look, I'm going to give you another example. If you sit there and say that you need anything. Oh, I should have invited you. You know what? Next time I come across that stuff, I'm going to send you an invite. I didn't even think about it. I shared it to my Facebook and stuff, but I don't think I can invite people unless if I'm not a part of it. But I don't know. I'm not a LinkedIn pro. I really don't enjoy that platform and I really don't like it, but I love the people that are there. So that's what keeps bringing me back there. The connections there are unlike somewhere else. So, but aside from that, it doesn't really interest me to go and spend most of my time and energy on that platform unless there's a real event. Thanks, I was working like a boss. You can invite on it. Okay, good. Well, you can show me how to do that. You know, I'm always open to learning, and I don't know it all, or I wouldn't be so hooked on learning. Yeah, that's my latest addiction. YouTube seems to be a good place also. Yeah. How do you like my YouTube channel? Happy to. Yeah. So yeah, guys, look. Let me get back to topic, but it's a great addiction. Yeah, it is. I love it. Listen, the fuel that I get from learning is unlike another. When I feel those brain pathways firing off and wiring off, oh man, the high of that is like unlike any other drug I have ever done in my life, and I've done many. So I found a new drug. One that won't make me sick. One that won't make me crash my car. Yo. Yes, it's addicting for sure, because you always want to expand. And then when you revisit your learning, you always find a deeper meaning. So the learning's never over. And anybody that thinks that they've mastered something, if they go back to visit it, they'll see it in a new light. Big time. So I'm all about that. Self-mastery. Oh, someone is fixing my green card for me. Good job. Well, guess what? I got my passport and it needs a first stamp. So, but shake that universal money tree to fill up a bank so that I can take a journey and an adventure and get some stamps on that passport. Live a little, you know? Why the fuck not? I didn't beat death to be sitting in a hood the way that I do. But you know what kind of news I got today? Okay, look. I had the biggest surprise when I was just coming in with my dog. There's a public notice on my government housing building. Let's plan a retreat. You know what? That sounds interesting. Interesting. But check this out. As I was coming into my government housing building today, there was a public notice, actually tonight. And I posted it actually on my page. They're going to the tribunal. They're they're going to the courts to override the municipal housing into rental estate buildings. So what's going to happen is, I went to do some research on that before I came out to do the live, and it looks like that they're going to take this string of government housing and they're going to sell it. So that leaves all of the residents having to be moved, because they have to facilitate new housing if they're going to sell and close these buildings. So the way I see it is, if this is what's really happening, this is the biggest blessing for me to have to leave where I am. You see, when you don't have the means to move your situation right away, well, the universe is always working for us. So I think that there's a lot of changes coming. Well, actually, I don't think. I feel that there is a tsunami of change coming my way really fast, and I have to be prepared for it. And it's funny because I have been preparing for months since I left that bad relationship, and my whole life was destroyed. Factually. No, actually it wasn't destroyed. It all fell apart so it could fall into place. That's how it's put properly, you know? So everything had to fall apart to fall into place, but I have been sitting here in this place going, fuck, I have wanted to be out of here from even before that relationship. I set out, packed up this place, and was ready to shift my life before I ever tried to engage with somebody who wasn't ready for a boss like me. Simple, okay? So they self-sabotage themselves and everything, which is cool because that's the best thing that could have ever happened to me, literally. Well, coming back from a heart attack and the flesh-eating disease in the past 2.5 years, and still being able to put out all my books and still being able to manage to do great things, well, I think that this is maybe another push that the universe is about to do for me in the right direction. I believe it. I feel it. So the shift is real. Things are going to happen quickly this year. I feel them. They already are. And it's funny because people ask me, Toby, what's your next move? Right now, my next move is just to be patient and have temperance and wait for the universe, because that's where I need to put my trust all the time. I don't govern any decision or go on a whim. I let the universe guide me all the time. All the time. And it's crazy because it's all that sensation of being pulled to it or being pushed away from it. And I listen to that. So that has to do with people, places, things. And it only takes one time for me to go somewhere where my soul has told me don't. And when I override that, it's pure chaos and conflict. So I learned my lesson. And I use the discernment of my heart at all times, because that's the true governance of the stability and balance and wellness of our being. And that's your most powerful state. So, you know, over the years of the self-mastery, I've learned to really, really trust what I'm being told and governed by, because if not, it is pure conflict and chaos and upheaval. And no, I'd rather operate in perfect design on a pathway that's already paved out by the universe, you know? And I just have to stay in alignment with it. It's simple as that. And I got to be who I am and speak the way I do, and just not be the person anybody expects me to be, because, hey, I'm just not that person. I am that oddball. Amazingly me, authentically, unapologetically, and I want everybody to be the same. No need to wear any kind of mask around me, or no need to, you know, and if you're walking around adopting any kind of state of your being as a self-identity, well, I will be quick to disrupt that pattern within you. After what, maybe 5-10 minutes with me? Shift your life, I tell you. That's what I do. And that's what I do best. And I love you for it. She says, yes, and I love you for it. You know what? I'm glad I can help, And I thrive on that. You see, there's a couple of things that I must do every day. Every day. When I wake up, I set my vibe for my day. 3 minutes for me. Okay, well, look, I set my vibe in my morning, no matter what. I say my mantras, literally. When I have that sun hitting me, total absorbance of that energy of the sun, asking the sun to fill and rejuvenate every one of my cells so that I can do its work on this earth, primarily. Then I'll take my dog for a walk. And as I walk and I hear the birds, I tell the birds thank you for singing for me in the morning. Before I walk out of the building, my first couple of steps, I literally intentionally infuse love onto the whole planet before I even walk. Okay? There's just some things that I do that keeps me in my full power no matter what at this point. So I encourage you guys all to do it too. Remind yourself every day why you're grateful. Factually in the morning. It really, really makes a difference. If you got to put Post-its all over your bathroom sink and all over your bathroom mirror so that when you're in there brushing your teeth and you need some reminders of empowerment, you do it. It takes 5 minutes to do that stuff and it empowers you beyond belief. Because it's a lot different than just saying these things, eh? When you repeat, you are reinstalling. You cannot just disrupt without reinstalling proper ways. Guys, if you invest the 5-10 minutes, like I say, baby steps produce huge traction over time. You do this stuff religiously for a week, and after a week, you've already reinstalled a whole new brain pattern without even putting any force, because you can't change anything by force. You have to change it by accepting it and willingly pull into it, no matter what it is. Guys, I want you guys to empower yourselves every day, every minute of every day. And under no excuse, give your power away to any person, place, or thing. Or to a state of being. Or to something that you choose to adopt as your self-identity. Anything that you think, say, or do about yourself better be something that is building you up. And if you don't have anything nice to say about yourself, I'll be the first one to tell you, shut the fuck up. Because you're destroying yourself. So, speak highly of yourself when you speak. Speak wellness into yourself when you speak. If you feel something coming on, breathe. Because that's all you got to do. Shouldn't have to get to the point where you got to talk yourself down. All you got to do is stop. Stop. Pause and breathe. You know, when the minute you feel something coming on, your body restricts. And that's actually what induces the rest of the state. Factually. You start tensing up. You lack oxygen. Your body starts to panic. Everything heightens and goes in total reverse to the fuel that you're being fueled by. Makes no sense to do that to yourself, especially when you know better. You know? And we all have different triggers according to what we've lived. So when these things arise, which are natural and are going to happen, be open to identifying why they're happening and not just jumping into what's happening. You know? Self-observation, self-reflection, self-validation. Okay, body, you're feeling like this. Well, feelings come on from a cause. Okay, let the logic, talk to yourself if you have to. All right, so let's identify the cause together of why you're feeling like this. Soul, can you show me what it is? Reveal all truths. And believe it or not, you're going to know why in a minute. Your soul knows already. It's going to tell you. But are you silencing yourself enough to hear it? That's the question. Baby steps towards trusting yourself and your soul is key. It's key. You can't, your body, your ego, will keep you away from your own wellness if you've been running on a pattern of destruction. You can't go in there and just decide to uproot everything and not fill it. Your brain is very powerful. Its job is to make everything real. Your subconscious brain, its job is it's programmed, and it's like an app that's installed in your device to function your device. Simple. It's programmed. The capacities that it has, you don't have those capacities. That's why you're not allowed to play in there. Because should you have been granted with your free will to go dabble in your subconscious, you'd be dead. Dead. Simple. There is no way that you would have enough time in a day to energy management what you've got to do for your systems. There's no way. Plus all your senses, plus all of the reactions happening constantly. Look, you put a piece of food in your mouth, you start chewing. Saliva is made to break it down. Could you do that while you're doing everything else? Worrying about your next cup of coffee or worrying about what the fuck somebody thinks about you? See what I'm saying? The brain is a very, very powerful thing. What you put in there becomes real for you, no matter what it is. So this is why I tell people to stop and watch and look at their thoughts, look at what they're saying, self-identify what they're breathing into their life. Because they have no idea that everything that they breathe into their life, they're making it real. Just by breathing it into life. Guys, you can take baby steps to mastering yourself to the point where you are on your top game. What do I consider somebody to be on their top game? Is when they are indestructible through any interaction or anything they must face. Literally. The one that can stand firmly in truth without a mask and speak openly. That's who I consider to be somebody who's mastered. Somebody of the same caliber. Me, I don't wear masks. I'm authentically me, unapologetically, and I have done a hell of a run in life to get to this point. Literally. And I've walked the deepest, darkest of lives. And I have done the most ungodly things on this planet. But that doesn't mean that that will ever define me. Because that has made me exactly who I am today with the knowledge that I have today. None of it's wasted. Guys, I don't want you to judge any of your past for nothing that it's been other than mere fucking experience. Because if you let it mean more than that, it will mean more than that. And really, it doesn't mean anything more than just merely what it is today. Non-existent, not relevant to who you are today, and really not constructive for your being to hang on to that stuff. Nor is it constructive for anybody to be running on a repeat of their experience. So guys, I empower you guys. Hey, sending you lots of love. Get it right within yourself with a little couple of baby steps. Couple of baby steps. Guys, you know, I'm going to say it again tonight out here too. Look, if you guys have smart TVs, which everybody loves to brag about how they're smart and how their smart devices are so fucking smart, well, I'll tell you something about your smart devices. Go tonight and add E360 TV onto your smart devices. And no, oh, not tomorrow. Do it now. Why? Because I was on an interview there yesterday on the Thriving Women Network, and it was totally mind-blowing, the whole experience. And then when I added the channel, listen, it's not just about my interview, eh? Let me tell you something. This channel, one-stop shopping for greatness. So I promote that channel, whether my face will ever be on that channel or not again. That channel is magic. Okay? And I personally don't give a shit whether you see my interview or not. What I give a shit about is you getting the greatness in totality from that channel. That's like a best kept secret. And I don't think it should be a secret. I think everybody should download that channel. There's all kinds of great, great content on that channel. I don't watch TV at all. Unless I'm listening to frequencies or unless there's something that I've put on purposely. But that channel, is worth it. And that channel will get my time and my energy. So I can't keep it a secret. You know? And you can get it. Roku, you can get it on demand. You can get this network, literally. It's out of this world, guys. You know? Take your great energy and bring it to great places and let the magic happen. Guys, I love y'all. I've had a full day. I'll be out tomorrow. I got another full schedule tomorrow. Full. I love it like that. But the most exciting thing of my day tomorrow is I think that my radio classes start tomorrow afternoon, and I am totally out of this world excited because I'm going to master the radio, and I'm going to master TV, and I'm going to master this form of touching as many possible lives. You know, I'm owning my mission heartfully, you know, about impacting 1 million lives this year, and I'm going to do just that in any means necessary. Factually. So I will do all the learning and master everything that I need to be able to communicate with as many as humanly possible. Literally. Yeah. Anyway, and I've been offered a feature in a magazine, so I can't wait to see how that plays out also. So there's a lot of things coming my way. And guys, you know something? Had I not been who I was and lived what I have and faced and overcome all that I have, with baby steps, I would not be who I am today. So I encourage you all, don't shy away from fucking nothing. It's all learning. And don't shame and blame and guilt yourself for any living experience that you gotta live. Because it's uniquely for you to learn. Nobody else's opinion or shame or blame or guilt or denial should be affecting you. Do not allow that for yourself at all. Embrace every piece of learning experience that you could possibly have that's granted to you, no matter what face it comes attached to, no matter what experience or interaction it is. Get the most out of it. Create win-win situations with every interaction that you make. Bring as much to the table as you expect to get from it. All the time. When you step out as your best self. No matter what. And that is your true governance of your being. And always look to be better than the day before, and that's all you really got to do. And over time, those baby steps every day, boy, you're going to cover a lot of traction over time. And why do I say that? Because right now, who I am today, I'm finally realizing the traction that I've made in my life. And I really want everybody else who invests in their wellness to feel the same way. Learning's never wasted. Guys, I love you all and everything's possible. And you know, it's all those things that you're scared to talk about, or that you feel ashamed of or blamed from, or those are the things that you need to talk about the most, you know. All of the things that you think people don't want to hear, those are the things they need to hear. Love yourself no matter what. Let the magic happen. Stand firm and strong in your power, because that is who you are. And that's who you're being sourced to be. And the power of your being knows no limits. And it knows no restrictions. And it knows no dysfunction. It knows harmony, balance, perfect design. Stay in alignment with that, because that's where the true power is. Remember your neutral point of passing. Stay neutral to it all. Guys, I love you all. I'll be back out here tomorrow with another full day of amazing learning for myself. Gotta learn, because that's the special sauce of evolution and growth. Big time. Guys, I love you all. Have a great night. Thanks for being out here. Thanks for interacting. Thanks for supporting all I do. And thanks, most of all, for being you. Love ya. Peace.